Welcome back to the channel. I'm really glad you've come along today, because we're going to talk about something that seems simple but hides a lot of mystery, the 1994 D Washington quarter. Most of these you see are just ordinary, worth their face value. But sometimes, one of them is special, a rare error, perfect condition, or a twist that makes it worth far more. Some people even talk about $5,000. So in easy language, let me tell you the whole story, where the coin comes from, what normal value is, what errors can happen, and whether $5,000 is really possible. Every coin has a backstory, its design, how many were made, which mint made it, and what mistakes might have slipped in. The 1994 Washington quarter is part of the long series of quarters that show George Washington on the front. Before 1965, many quarters were made of silver, but by then the mint switched to a clad metal layers of copper and nickel over a core to save cost. The D in 1994 D means it was made at the Denver Mint. In 1994, Denver struck about 880,034,110 of these quarters. Because that's a huge number, most are common today. If you pick one up in your change, and it's been used and worn, it's usually worth 25 cents its face value. If it has been preserved well, not much wear, people call that mint state, it may be worth a few dollars. According to Cointrackers, a really nice 1994 D quarter might go for around $10.10 in top condition. But most 1994 D quarters in ordinary condition stay at or near 25 cents. Because so many were made, getting one that's rare or error-filled makes all the difference. That's where the excitement comes in. A dramatic error or perfect condition can push the value way higher than the ordinary ones. One error is called off-center strike. That means when the coin was being stamped, it wasn't aligned properly and part of the design is missing or cut off. The more off-center it is, and if the date is still readable, the more valuable it becomes. For 1994 quarters, modest off-center examples might sell for $30 to perhaps a few hundred depending on how severe and how good the rest of the coin is. Another is clipped planchet. The blank metal piece that should be perfectly round gets cut wrong or partially missing. So the coin looks like someone took a bite out of it. If that clipped edge is neat, pronounced, and the rest of the coin is good, collectors like that. Some 1994 quarters with clipped planchet errors are priced from $20 to $150 or more depending on quality. A third type is missing clad layer, also called lamination error. Remember, the quarter is made with outer, clad, layers over a copper core. If that outer layer is missing or peeled on one side, that side may look coppery, like a penny color, while the other side remains normal. That kind of error is more unusual. In the 1994 series, missing clad errors have been seen, and depending on severity and whether the rest of the coin is in good shape, values in the $60 to $220 range have been mentioned in error guides. Then there is double strike or multiple strike. Here the coin is struck twice, or nearly so, creating overlapping or ghost images. If the doubling is clear and visible, that boosts interest. For 1994 Washington quarters, double strike errors might fetch something like $75 to $150 plus, depending on how dramatic and clear the doubling is. An especially rare error is being struck on the wrong planchet. That means a blank intended for another coin, like a dime, accidentally got into the quarter machine. Because that other blank has different thickness or diameter, the quarter design might look cramped or distorted. One known example is a 1994 quarter struck on a dime planchet. Reports show such a coin in MS-63 sold for about $840. The Engineering Info. Another error type is a bonded pair error. This happens when two blanks or coins were stuck together during striking, or one gets stuck and another gets struck with parts of both combined. The result is overlapping or merged images. One 1994 example of a bonded pair was reported selling for $1,610 in MS-63 or MS-64 grades. Errors can also involve the mint mark. In a 1994 D quarter, the D is the mint mark. Sometimes that mark might be missing, faint, double, or misapplied. But errors in mint mark are tricky, because sometimes wear or cleaning can remove or obscure a mint mark. So verifying whether a missing or odd mint mark is a true mint error, and not just damage, is very important. Some collectors question 1994 quarters with no visible mint mark and think they might be errors, but they also warn that verification is needed. Now, with that background, is it realistic for a 1994 D quarter to be worth $5,000? The short answer is, under normal conditions, no. But under extraordinary circumstances, maybe it's possible. For a coin to reach $5,000, it would likely need multiple error types combined, for example, wrong planchet plus off-center plus missing clad, be an extremely high grade, very sharp, perfect surfaces, no wear, and be authenticated and certified by a top grading service with strong provenance. Those are high bars to clear. In many price guides, the high end for 1994 D quarters is much lower. For example, Coin Value Lookup shows that for MS67, a 1994 D quarter might go for $1,250, for MS65 to MS66 grading, more modest amounts. Another guide shows 1994 D quarters in MS65 might bring $26 in some cases, though that is for more typical examples. Coin Value Checker. Some guides even suggest that a properly graded MS67 1994 D coin sold for $1,500 in an auction. One must treat these as exceptions. Because so many 1994 D coins exist, having one that is that rare is hard. Let me give you a possible scenario. Imagine you hold a 1994 D quarter that is uncirculated, has perfect luster, no contact marks, extremely sharp detail, and also has a serious error, maybe it struck off center 40%, missing clad on part of one side, and struck on a wrong planchet. That combination of rarity, visual wow, and condition might bring fierce competition among collectors. If such a coin also has a strong certificate from PCGS or NGC, then yes, bidders might push it into the thousands. But $5,000 would still demand more uniqueness, demand, and proof that it is truly one of one. So when someone claims, 1994 D quarter worth $5,000, you should ask, what is the error? What grade? What is the certificate? Is there provenance? Without those, it's just a guess or marketing. Many less dramatic errors or lower grades will only reach tens to a few $100s. Even good errors might hit $200 to $800 or so depending on how striking the error is and condition. Guides mention off-center may go $30 to $300, missing clad $60 to $220, wrong planchet up to $840 in that reported example. If you ever find a 1994 D quarter and think it might be something special, here are steps you should follow. First, look at it carefully. Use a magnifying glass or camera macro close-up. Check whether the design looks shifted, parts missing, edges clipped, layering missing, doubling, or odd metal color. Compare with a normal 1994 D quarter for reference. Measure and weigh it, if possible, because planchet errors often cause differences in weight or thickness. If you see something that looks unusual, do not clean the coin or alter it. That can destroy any collector value. Photograph both sides under good light, document anything you notice. Then, consider sending it to a well-known grading and authentication service. Their certification letter and holder boosts confidence from buyers. Also, check previous auction records so you know what similar error coins sold for. Be realistic. If someone else had one just a little different and sold for $2,000, that gives you a benchmark. Be cautious of bold claims or offers that seem too good to be true. Some sellers exaggerate or mislabel coins. Without strong proof, buyers are wary. A coin without certification or weak documentation may struggle to command high price. In summary, the 1994 D Washington quarter is very common in everyday form. Most are just 25 cents, or maybe a few dollars if kept well. But some have errors off-center, clipped planchet, missing clad, double strikes, wrong planchets, bonded pairs, or mint mark anomalies, and those can make them worth more. To reach $5,000, though, you need something extreme, unique, beautifully preserved, and fully authenticated. It's rare, but not absolutely impossible. If you ever think you have one like that, send me photos, tell me what you see, and we'll look into it together. Thanks for being here. Happy coin hunting, and may the rare ones find you.